It looks like liquid gold, and for millions, it was worth more. When COVID-19 had no cure, an unlikely hero stood in a field. Inside this majestic animal flows the first shield against the virus. Hyperimmune equine plasma, the world's first COVID antibody treatment. Every dose began with a physician's belief and a horse's gift. What if the first weapon against COVID was not built in a modern lab, but inside a horse? In 2020, while the world waited for a vaccine, one company returned to a method pioneered in the 1890s. The same science that beat diphtheria in the 19th century was now racing against a global pandemic, and for thousands of high-risk patients, it became their only option. Hyperimmune equine antibody serum, golden, because it carries life. In the next 20 minutes, you will see the exact 5-stage factory process, from injection to infusion.
I am standing inside the facility that takes this raw equine plasma and turns it into this.
It begins far from any pharmaceutical plant, on specialized antibody farms, where the horses are not patients, but these horses receive a tiny, harmless piece of the inactivated virus, a blueprint their immune system learns to defeat. Teaching the viewer using plasmapheresis, only the antibody-rich plasma is collected, and the red blood cells are returned to the horse immediately. Within minutes of collection, the plasma is shock frozen to preserve every antibody's structure.
Confirmed. -30.
An unbroken cold chain ensures the plasma arrives exactly as it left the farm, frozen in time, highlighting logistics as the silent hero of the process.
Batch confirmed.
Every bag is validated against donor records, viral test results, and antibody titers before it is accepted. Now the transformation can begin, signaling the quiet before the storm and the clean, cold beginning of the high-tech process. Thawing must be controlled because too fast and the antibodies deactivate, while too slow an aggregate forms, driving home the critical nature of precision in every ordinary moment.
37 degrees Celsius.
Within 30 minutes, the plasma is returned to a liquid state, ready for the first purification step.
The pooled plasma, still raw and complex, carries not just antibodies but also clotting factors and other proteins, giving others. Plasma from multiple donors is combined to normalize antibody concentration across the entire batch. Batch confirmed. Transfer initiated. Only after this digital green light does the golden liquid move forward.
Caprylic acid does double duty, activating enveloped viruses and pre-developed viruses.
The precipitate traps fibrinogen and other aggregates, leaving pure immunoglobulins in solution, delivering a sense of beauty and separation where manufacturing becomes alchemy. Confirming stable operation. Control room. At 12,000 RPM, centrifugal force separates the precipitate, leaving a clarified golden supernatant. What emerges is serum thousands of times richer in antibodies than the original plasma.
Confirmed.
Ion exchange chromatography is the heart of the purification binding antibodies, based on electrostatic charge. The antibodies form this distinct golden band, and you can literally see the purity as it migrates, turning science into a visible art form.
Peak confirmed.
When protein concentration spikes, the fraction collector automatically diverts the purified stream.
Each fraction is later tested, and only those with the highest antibody activity are kept.
What is discarded is just as important, ensuring only the purest antibodies reach the patient. The factory is a sieve for dens. This membrane has pores only 20 nanometers wide. Viruses cannot pass, but antibodies can. Set point reached. 3 bar steady. Under pressure, the antibodies pass through while any remaining viral particles are retained. turning force into a tool of purification.
All right.
After filtration, every filter is integrity tested to ensure it never failed during the process, reinforcing trust through technology and absolute verification. Now this batch, biologically identical to that first plasma bag, is ready for final formulation, marking the Golden Journey's entrance into its last phase.
To achieve the required dose per vial, and the antibody solution is concentrated 5-fold using ultrafiltration.
With each pass through the membrane cassette, water and small salts are forced out, concentrating the antibodies exponentially. What leaves the system is sterile water and small solutes. The antibodies stay, becoming ever more concentrated.
3.1.
The diafiltration step replaces residual salts with a formulation buffer, stabilizing the antibodies for long-term storage.
This buffer stabilizes the antibodies for long-term storage and ensures compatibility with human infusion.
Looking good. This is hyperimmune globulin at its purest. A single milliliter already contains more antibodies than the original bag.
Weight is confirmed at 500 kilograms.
Volume checks out.
The batch is now moved into the sterile filling suite for a final filtration step. From here onward, every operation takes place under grade A air, and absolute sterility is no longer a goal. A 0.2 micron sterilizing filter guarantees that no bacteria or particulate remains the final physical barrier before. From this point, the product will never again be exposed to open air until the moment a nurse draws it into a syringe. A sample is immediately sent for sterility testing, but the batch will only be released once 14 days of negative results are confirmed. Held at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, the liquid antibody can remain stable for weeks.
Control, hold temperature confirmed at 4.5.
Clear pass.
Only after confirming the filter never failed are the downstream products considered truly sterile. Now the golden liquid meets its final vessel, the vial.
Parameters confirmed. Filling lead.
Every vial starts as raw glass tubing, washed in a continuous stream of purity.
Pass it. Heating glass to over 250 degrees Celsius destroys any bacterial endotoxins.
The line is clear.
Undergrade, a laminar airflow inside the isolator vials are now ready to receive the precious cargo. Confirmed. Proceeding with the fill. Each fill volume is gravimetrically checked to within 0.1 milliliters, no more, no less.
That is beautiful.
Witness the birth of a dose from the horse's blood to this vial in the cleanest room on Earth. Immediately stoppered, the antibody solution will never again breathe unfiltered air.
Transfer count is at 5,200.
The line moves at a steady, unhurried pace. Quality over speed, always. Running average, 10.50 grams. Logged. Every single vial is weighed, and an outlier triggers immediate rejection.
Got it.
Even in a fully automated line, human oversight is the final safety net.
Total rejected this hour, 42. Imperfection has no place here. Every rejected vial is a reminder of how high the bar is set.
Count confirmed for shelf 11.
For many antibody products, turning this liquid into a stable powder lyophilized cake ensures years of shelf life, giving the viewer a sense of the next transformation. One, two, three, four, five. Load plan confirmed. The lyophilizer will precisely control temperature and vacuum to sublimate water directly from ice to vapor.
The door is secure and the chamber is locked.
Once sealed, the chamber will reach pressures lower than outer space.
Freezing must be rapid and uniform because the structure of the ice determines how well the powder dissolves later. It's a delicate balance.
0.1 millibar.
Under deep vacuum, ice bypasses the liquid phase entirely, leaving behind a delicate cake.
Wow.
What remains is a scaffold of pure antibody protein, stable, sterile, and elegant.
Stoppering inside the chamber means the cake is sealed under vacuum, the ultimate protection.
Cycle complete, all stoppers seated correctly.
Looking good.
Now the vials emerge, no longer fragile liquid, but a durable cake that can traverse the globe.
Beautiful cake.
Cake elegance is not cosmetic. It is a direct indicator of proper lyophilization and long-term stability. Good. Less than 1% moisture guarantees that the antibodies will not degrade for up to 3 years, giving the viewer concrete evidence of the product's durability.
Cart coming through. With the cake safely sealed and final outer protections can be added, setting the stage for the next chapter of the manufacturing story.
The pace is steady.
The final seal, tamper-evident and protective, is crimped on with exact force, securing each vial.
The force is monitored because too loose and sterility is compromised, while too tight and the glass may crack. The reading is 45.2.
Line 1 reports no defects to the lead.
No human eye could inspect every angle at line speed, so machine vision takes the task.
Wash cycle complete. After capping, the outside surfaces are cleaned of any glass particulates or lubricant residue. Every detail considered.
98, 9th9, 100. The product is now functionally complete but still must prove itself in final quality testing.
Next, every single vial will face the human eye.
Inspectors look for cracks, discoloration, foreign particles, or cake defects, anything that could compromise the dose, giving the viewer deep respect for this painstaking work. Tyndall beam illumination makes invisible particles visible, protecting the patient from even microscopic contamination, impressing upon the viewer the layers of protection built into every dose.
CC04, lyophilization cake collapse. Even after all prior steps, the final human inspection gate catches 0.1% that machines might miss.
Height 10.25, width 18.5. This statistical sampling confirms the entire batch meets specifications.
Confirmed. Batch record matches.
These labels carry identification and traceability back to the donor horse.
Label check good.
A perfectly aligned label is the last physical mark of the factory before the product enters the world.
The serialization count matches the batch quantity. This system fights counterfeits, allowing us to track every vial from the factory to the patient bedside.
Vials are collated into tamper-proof secondary packaging, ready for the final cold box.
Tray count confirmed, 25.5. Batch codes match.
Every box contains not just medicine, but knowledge, dosing, storage, and the story of its origin.
Sample 743B, negative, confirming lot H52.
After 14 days of incubation, no microbial growth means the batch passes sterility.
Less than 0.05 endotoxin units per milliliter. The same horseshoe crab blood that detects toxins in nature now validates our product's safety.
Potency exceeds the reference standard. The antibody's ability to neutralize the virus is confirmed, and each batch must exceed the reference.
Batch 21HYN77B, confirmed. The qualified person's signature is the legal and ethical release holding personal responsibility for every vial.
Another one ready. With this document, the batch is no longer raw material, it is officially medicine.
The logger serial is 72459. Every shipment is temperature monitored from factory door to hospital pharmacy, ensuring reliability.
All clear.
As night falls, the medicine moves from quiet farm to chaotic city. It answers the urgency of the pandemic.
Manifest confirmed.
Whether by air or road, the unbroken cold chain is the lifeline that connects the horse's gift to the patient's arm.
Batch number A345X7.
In the hospital, this vial's journey on the shelves is measured in hours. Soon, it will be called to the bedside.
The dose is ready. In the nurse's hands, the lyophilized powder returns to its original form, one last transformation before the patient receives it. This is the moment the entire 8-step process was built for a single golden drop entering a bloodstream armed with equine antibodies. Vitals stabilizing. Patient appears comfortable. Tear noted.
Numbers are looking good.
Within hours, the antibodies begin neutralizing the virus, a passive immunity that buys precious time for the body to recover.
This one made it.
For patients like this, vaccines were too slow or too weak, and equine antibody therapy became the bridge to survival.
The same eye that watched over the lab, and the same heart that produced the antibodies.
From one species to another, a gift encoded in blood, binding us in survival. And the factory stands ready because the next pandemic may not wait, delivering a sobering reminder of the perpetual preparedness required.
From Argentina to Zimbabwe, the golden vials arrived, a truly global response born from a local farm.
Thank you.
For the immunocompromised, the young, the elderly, this treatment was not a luxury, but a last line. Inside this vial, across oceans into favelas, and the golden doses made the same journey, because COVID had no address.
In places where ventilators were few, antibodies became the only shield. driving home the life-saving role of the treatment in resource-limited settings. A half-century of love, sustained by a horse they would never meet. Behind every dose, 1,000 unseen hands and a circle of exhausted, grateful healers. It is a cold one tonight. While the world slept, the factory never truly stopped, only paused, listening for the next call. Sterile, silent, and ever ready, the machinery dreams of the next emergency. The donors never lost their freedom. Their gift did not diminish them, but multiplied across the world. One farm, one herd, one process woven into the defense of 47 nations. He walks now not because of a miracle, but because of a horse's immune system, bottled and delivered.
Take care now!
2 lives returned to normalcy by an unconventional weapon.
For some survivors, the vial itself became a symbol not of medicine, but of mercy.
The dose is ready.
In thousands of pharmacies, the routine of reconstitution never diminished the reverence, honoring these quiet professionals who serve as the final checkpoint.
200 horses living in peace. Their biology, a silent factory within.
The cycle continues, new life born into the same herd that saves human lives.
Written in the stars and in the blood, we are all connected.
Defying gravity, the antibodies remain perfectly stable. A testament to the limitless potential of this treatment.
The foundation was built by those who came before, built on the past, engineered for the future, a design that can pivot for any new threat.
Thank you for showing us everything.
It is an honor to be part of this.
The story you have witnessed is ongoing, and it is happening right now for the next patient.
This is the dose that will save another life. Each vial a universe of protection, held by the healers who trusted its story. Everything 8 in steps, one planet, many hearts distilled into one pure drop. Good evening. In the end, the reflection is the truth. The therapy is nothing but a mirror of the horse's own immunity.
Separated by species, united by biology, and by the need to survive.
(1890 to 2020. Another morning, another batch. The rhythm of readiness never breaks. It is not machines alone. It is these hands, these eyes, these hearts.
That is the last one. She knows her eyes were the last to see it before it saved a life.
Your drawing is beautiful and will inspire other patients.
This horse saved me.
Even the youngest survivors understood some. Vaccines teach the immune system, but equine antibodies fight for it when time is too short.
Morning, traveler.
This was her life's work, and it answered the call, honoring the scientists who dedicated their careers to making the treatment possible.
Perfect. Remembering the journey, because every dose carries it.
Encapsulating the process geometry of protection, giving the viewer a moment of abstract beauty that summarizes the entire journey. It took 12 hands to bring it from the horse's blood to this child's hands.
I wanted to honor what happens inside these walls.
Yeah.
Now the factory itself wears the symbol of its purpose.
From these quiet woods and pastures, a shield went out into the world.
That is the last one for now. 1 vial is a treatment. 1,000,000 vials is history. Gold is not a color. It is the measure of life, given and received. The first weapon was never a tool. It was a partnership, a gift, a horse.
This video was made by Teach You Something, a computer program. AI helped write the script and create the picture. They did not steal or copy from other people. The video looked cool, but it is made by a computer, not a real camera. These were created using View 3 Meta AI, and they use an app called CapCut to finish the video.